I told you that dragons are real creatures, you would almost certainly laugh at me. Unless you were Roger from Mudfossil University, then you'd buy me a beer. Well, it seems Roger is not the only person to believe this, and a new channel has popped up called Dragonscape Mudfossils. And you won't believe this, but they found evidence of a real dragon on Google Earth. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, my lips are getting better, thankfully. If you didn't know, I got COVID, I rubbed my nose too much, made my lips sore and they swollen and got broken and everything, but I am getting better. Thanks for all your well wishes in the last video. Right, back to the video in hand today, and that is one from Dragonscape Mudfossils. And they're convinced that they found evidence of dragons on Google Earth of all places. Away you go, guys.
Hello friends, and welcome to our first video here at Dragonscape Mudfossils. As the name of the channel suggests, we're dedicated to exploring the growing scientific field of mud fossils, that is, of perfectly preserved fossilized creatures, much alike the petrified trees already widely recognized by academia.
Petrified trees and mud fossils of giant mythical creatures are two entirely different things. And mud fossils, as far as I can tell, are currently not scientific. And I don't think they ever will be.
We must take a moment to appreciate all researchers dedicated to this area of study, with special regards to Roger Spur from Mudfossil University.
Hi Roger!
Whose efforts to interpret and structure a body of knowledge on mud fossils has enabled several people to recognize the absolute importance of answering questions long ignored by mainstream science and media.
Oh yes, the questions about rocks looking a little bit like animals or body parts with no other evidence than that. Those questions?
We will take a special interest in the study of dragons, creatures still thought by most to be only a myth, in hopes to present substantial evidence that suggests otherwise.
And yet I can guarantee you that if the mythical creature we all know to be a dragon had never been created, this video would not exist.
This channel is an independent initiative to help uncover the truth about our world. Therefore, we will simply present visual studies and analysis of findings easily visible on the landscape, since we lack the resources at the moment to dive into deeper technological investigations.
Save your money, buddy.
We remain open, however, to collaborate with like-minded people that also cannot wait to advance our knowledge on the origins and the demise of giant and titanic creatures that once inhabited this realm. So without further ado, let's travel to our first location, where we will reveal our finding at St. Paul Island, Alaska. So here we have the full island on display. At first glance, it is not that obvious to spot the dragon partially visible, so let's zoom a little closer.
Let's all bear in mind here that this is an island made from rock.
Now we arrive at an angle where the creature becomes clearly identifiable at the top half of the screen.
Does it? Because I'm not seeing it, my friend.
With its head, shoulders and both wings protruding out of the island's landscape. The rest of the body we can assume to be going under the landmass or underwater.
Am I the only one not seeing this?
Take a moment to appreciate the meaning of what you see. Atop of its left wing, we can distinguish the city of St. Paul, where around 500 people are living as we speak, unaware of what lies beneath them.
Oh, I see it now, I think. But that is quite simply one of the biggest stretches I've ever seen on this channel, and that's saying something.
At the very left, we can observe the airport runway. Let's measure this creature to better grasp its size. Coming from the tip of the nose to the back of the cranium, the length of this dragon's head is around 1,100 meters.
Maybe I didn't see it. I thought that this was the head. Oh dear, I'm not too good at this, am I?
Or a little over 3,600 feet. The width of the head we can approximate to 800 meters or around 2,624 feet. Now, if we estimate the length of the tail to end around here, we can consider the full body length from the tip of the tail to the tip of the nose to be around 7,000 meters in total, or nearly 23,000 feet.
So a 7-kilometre long dragon. Really? Do you have any idea how much that would weigh?
Regarding the wingspan of this dragon, its proportions demonstrate that it could surpass 10 kilometers in length, nearing 33,000 feet.
10 kilometres wide and 7 kilometres long. There is no way that that dragon gets off the ground.
Moving in closer, we get a better visual on some of the creature's anatomical details. The triangle-shaped reptilian head becomes even more apparent, as well as the right eye socket and nostril. The surface of the neck leading to the right wing displays an irregular texture and elevations, what is consistent with the bone structure of this area being partially exposed due to weathering.
In other words, they're hills and small mountains.
Finally, the left wing shoulder blade also clearly protrudes from the landmass, forming an elevated hill on the landscape. We can also notice the main roads of St. Paul City crossing the whole extension of the creature's body, as well as a lagoon formed by the enclosed area between the head and the left wing.
Oh, that's a wing! Right, got it.
One relevant characteristic most might be wondering about has to do with the color of this creature. At first glance, we could assume its color to be green, however, that is just due to the vegetation covering the petrified body. We cannot affirm its original color since due to the petrifaction process, the whole body has turned to stone. At the very left corner on the screen, we can observe an exposed part of the body that isn't covered by vegetation, displaying a dark asphalt-like color. The fact that most of the creature is covered by a very green vegetation also adds to the defense that this is indeed a dragon, since plant life thrives in soils rich with organic material, such as blood and bone marrow.
But you've just said that it turns to stone, or it has turned to stone, so how are those nutrients there? It makes no sense. Oh my days, I sound like a flat earther. It makes no sense.
Which are commonly used as fertilizers in agriculture. Zooming closer, we can briefly admire the city in direct comparison to the dragon's head. What a historical, marvelous sight indeed. Now coming to our closer shot of the head, we can observe the small road that leads to the creature's nose, where visitors can enjoy the view of the ocean near the cliff that consists of the dragon's face slowly deteriorating due to the weather conditions.
Oh, they're going to be so bummed that they didn't realise they were standing on the head of a giant petrified dragon which once roamed the earth eating 6-ton sheep.
Some very recognizable lizard features can also be observed at the cheek and jaw areas, where the curves of the hills help highlight the head format.
Yeah, we get the picture. Let's skip to his final conclusion.
So with this, we end the first biogeological analysis of our finding, the dragon of St. Paul Island. We thank each listener for taking the time to entertain the subject of such significance for our humanity, and extend our gratitude to all the truthers that pioneered this and so many more quests for knowledge and discovery. A vast array of questions still linger for all of us to respond to, such as: did all of these titanic beings die at one catastrophic event, such as the biblical deluge, or could there still exist alive specimens of such monstrosity?
Or are people confusing rocks for things that were never there? Let's say it together, everyone. Pareidolia! Well, what a look at the new channel that was. I don't know if they're ever going to get to the levels of Roger from Mudfossil U, but it'll be certainly fun finding out. So for now, we're all done and dusted for another Tinfoil Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching, it truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it today, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you really enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button too. That would be much appreciated as well. I've been Simon Dan, and I'll see you on Friday, where we look at the first 5 of 10 good reasons that the Earth is flat. Dear oh dear. See you then.